What's up, everyone? James Baek here, and welcome back to another episode of VGC Back-to-Back Battles, our Battle Spot series, where we go on the Battle Spot ladder and play some VGC. Today's team, yes, it's different. Yes, it looks okay. It's got some tricks up its sleeve, and I plan on using this team tomorrow on stream. If you guys don't follow me already on Twitch, it'll be twitch.tv/slash JamesSpeed1, where you got some pretty cool streams going on. I would definitely recommend you check it out. And I will be streaming at 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and also that's 2:30 to 5:30 PST, I believe. So if you're in the neighborhood, definitely come check it out. No, 4:30. That's 2:30 to 4:30. Yeah, 2:30 to 4:30, not 5:30. But yeah, this team looks pretty cool. This team looks okay, but we got some tricks, and I hope we get to show them off in today's episode. Let us find our two battles and see how we do. Our first opponent of the day is a 1609 rated player from Japan, rocking out the team with Yveltal, Groudon, Cresselia, Ferrothorn, Scrafty, and Thundurus Incarnate. Now, this is actually a pretty rough matchup for my team, just because I really didn't plan on facing many Yveltals when I built this team. Also, Ferrothorn is a huge issue for my team, so gotta be a bit wary of that. So, what do I want to lead here? What do I even want to bring in this game? That's the question. I kind of like every single member, actually. I do like every single member. But, you know, I can't bring that exactly, so what am I left with? Kyogre might be decent, but I actually feel like Kyogre might be a bit weak here, just due to the fact he has Ferrothorn. Scrafty's an interesting Pokemon. You don't see it much in VGC. What I can do here is I can lead my Gengar, but Gengar doesn't do much against this team, so I think I'll leave Gengar out of this. I do like Mewtwo. I do like Salamence. I think I'll lead Mewtwo Salamence, actually. Have a Moongus and Mawile in the back. Oh, wait, I can't bring both Mega Evolutions. That's right. That's right. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna bring these four. Yeah. Okay, I was thinking of bringing Mawile and Salamence. Then I realized you can't Mega Ball both. So I would have to choose a non-Mega Evolution. So decided not to bring Mawile, because Mawile's only job is hit Yveltal, do a bunch to knock out Scrafty, and also get rid of Cresselia with heavy offense. But my opponent leads off with the Yveltal and the Cresselia, which is a pretty bad lead for me, actually. We do get the Intimidate off. Let's see, did Dark Aura activate yet? Nope, Dark Aura, there it is. So that means he is not Scarf Yveltal, so that's good to know. I do carry Flamethrower on my Mewtwo just because I don't have the TM for Substitute currently. So what I can do is just go for the Ice Beam and the Hyper Voice straight onto his Pokemon. I feel like that's a pretty safe play. An Ice Beam plus Hyper Voice should knock out the Yveltal, unless it's incredibly specially defensive. That's also a thing. I don't know if the Yveltal wants to protect. Most likely he would. Otherwise, go for a Sucker Punch. I don't see a reason, but thanks to Intimidate, I should be able to take one. And right here, I'm just going to fire off a Hyper Voice and Ice Beam. I need to knock out Yveltal, since Yveltal is actually a huge threat to my team, because it really threatens a lot of Pokemon. It hits them really hard. Luckily, he does not protect, so Ice Beam is going to fire off into this Yveltal. It is a Life Orb boosted Ice Beam. That does a lot, and that should put it in the Hyper Voice range, because I am full special Salamence, as we do fire off the Hyper Voice, and we are able to knock out the Yveltal. Huge threat to my team out of the way, and that is really nice, as he fires off the Tricker. That is fine, just because I do carry my Moongus in the back, so that is great. Now, he'll most likely want to bring a Groudon, I would assume, and go for a Eruption if he has it. Groudon is going to come out. Now, I do not know if he's special or physical. I also don't want to give him the chance to set up, let's say, with a... I don't want to give him a chance to set up. I don't want him to get a Swords Dance and then set up Gravity. I really don't want that, so I know that is something I do not want to handle. I can live in Ice Beam, that's for sure, and his only main way to hit Salamence should be a Fire type attack. Eruption most likely. So I don't feel like he'll skill swap this turn. I feel like he would rather just go for the Ice Beam and the Precipice Blades. That way, if he does have skill swap, he'll go for the skill swap the following turn. He could also go for Gravity here, predicting Salamence to protect. So what I'm going to do is switch out Mewtwo into my Kyogre and actually fire off a Hydro Pump that I carry on my Salamence for this specific occasion where I can knock out the Groudon possibly. So I'm going to bring out my Kyogre right here and get my Weather up. I really hope he doesn't go for the skill swap because I would really love just to be able to fire off this Hydro Pump and knock out the Groudon with the Hydro Pump. That would be a great thing. That would be a great thing, not gonna lie. Hopefully he doesn't skill swap here. But he does skill swap his Groudon here, which I'm really surprised that he wouldn't do in the following turn. But let's see what his Groudon goes for now, as it's going to be the Eruption. So he is special Groudon, so that's something to note, as he does so much damage. Oh man, as unfortunately the Hydro Pump is gonna fail. That was unfortunate, I'm not gonna lie, that was unfortunate. I need one of Salamence or Mewtwo to be alive in order to take him on, so I might want to sack Salamence here. I might want to keep Salamence. I need to switch on my Kyogre though. Maybe sacking Mewtwo? Yeah, I'm gonna sack Mewtwo actually because I need to rain up for later, and I'm gonna protect my Salamence right here because it will be my best play. As I can switch into my, I could get a free switch into my Moongus if he knocks me out. Hopefully he does decide to knock me out. I would really appreciate it, as I do protect with my Salamence here. As let's see what it's gonna go for, as it's going to be the Gravity. So he might carry the Precipice Blades, and if he does carry Precipice Blades, I hope he actually knocks out one of my Pokemon here. As he does go for the Precipice Blades, I'm actually hoping he knocks out Mewtwo. Maybe he's mixed. As unfortunately, he does not knock out my Mewtwo, which I kind of wanted him to. Not gonna lie, but right here, what I'm gonna do is just protect my Mewtwo and sack my Salamence here, because I need to get in a position where I can get a Moongus in Trick Room, or a position where I can bring out my Kyogre where it's not in Trick Room and fire off some Origin Pulses. Or Water Spout, I don't remember which one I have actually. As he fires off the Ice Beam into the Mewtwo slot and goes for Precipice Blades. Will that knock me out? I'm actually a bit curious if this will knock me out. It does knock me out since I'm not he is not intimidated, so that is good to know. As does Trick Room expire here? No, it doesn't, but I can bring out my Amoonguss right here, and I feel like I can just Spore his Cresselia and switch out into my Kyogre right here. Kyogre is pretty bulky. Yeah, my Kyogre is definitely very bulky. So I'm going to Spore his Cresselia and bring out my Kyogre. That way, he cannot reset his Weather with Skill Swap. And that's what I really want to aim for in this game, is preventing Skill Swap. So I am going to bring out my Kyogre right here. As let's see what he's going to do with his Groudon. I doubt he would protect. He doesn't protect, which is a good play on his part, as I am going to Spore his Cresselia. So that's one threat out of the way, as let's see what he goes for. As Cresselia is going to stay asleep, as the Groudon goes for the Eruption. So perfect. I don't take any Precipice Blades damage, and Trick Room resorts to normal. So that's perfect. Right here, what I can do is fire off an Origin Pulse. Thanks to his Gravity, I cannot miss. And I'll switch out my Amoonguss into my Mewtwo right here, because I really doubt the Groudon is just going to allow me to knock him out with the Origin Pulse. So he is going to withdraw and most likely go out into Ferrothorn, which I would predict to be his last mon. It's actually going to be Thunderous, so maybe switching out my maybe just attacking that slot with a Spore would have been the better call. But let's see how much this Origin Pulse will do, because an Origin Pulse is going to hurt his team. As Origin Pulse is going to fire off, and how much will this do to his Pokemon? As Origin Pulse does a nice amount, actually knocks out his Thunderous, which is incredible. So he did not have the Ferrothorn, so I'm actually surprised he didn't bring Ferrothorn, but I guess that does work out, because I did not need Mewtwo actually. I did not need Mewtwo or Salamence. So Groudon is going to come out here. What I can do is actually just... what can I do here? I could go for Flamethrower and Ice Beam onto his... Like, he would go for Eruption 100%, right? Maybe just Ice Beaming and Side Striking his Groudon would be the best call. Would that KO, though? That's the question. I really don't know if that would KO. Maybe I'll just Protect right here. See how much damage I can get onto this Groudon if it decides to go for Eruption. As he does fire off the Eruption, I'm not sure if he wins the Speed type. We do not know how fast his Groudon is. I would assume it would be slow, as Kyogre does take a hell of a lot as we do fire off an Ice Beam into the Groudon. This will weaken the power of its Eruption. Oh, wow, that's really good damage, as the Trick Room is going to get set up, unfortunately. What I can do here, though, as gravity does return to normal, is I could probably switch out my Kyogre right here. I feel like he would go for Blades. He doesn't have Helping Hand, most likely. He has Trick Room. We've seen Gravity. We've seen Skill Swap. So most likely no Trick Room here on this set, as I could just Protect. Yeah, I could just Protect, sack my Mewtwo, actually. I feel like I could win with just Grass Knotting. Yeah. I'm just going to Flamethrower his Cresselia, get some damage off, and Protect. I wish I kind of sacked my Mewtwo. Oh, as we actually avoid the Precipice Blades. As we do Flamethrower his Cresselia, and now he ends up getting his Trick Room, which is kind of unfortunate for him. That's definitely unfortunate for him. But I do not mind that, as right here I can Flamethrower his Cresselia. There's nothing preventing me from doing that, as I can go for that, but it looks like Eruption would be his only attacking move. So he has to choose between if he's going to Precipice Blades or not, or Eruption. I don't feel like Eruption because I can just Side Strike him. So what I'm actually going to do is pull out my Kyogre, go into my Amoonguss, and go for the Flamethrower knockout on his Cresselia. That was definitely an unfortunate Precipice Blades, and it would have definitely worked out since he reversed his Trick Room, which was really good play on his part. Unfortunately, he went for Precipice Blades, which can miss. Flamethrower actually barely misses the knockout on his Cresselia, as Precipice Blades will be fired off onto both my Pokemon. So, luckily he did not go for the Eruption there, as a Mewtwo is going to faint there, and let's see what he goes for with his Cresselia. It is going to be the Gravity, so he's not going to miss at all. But luckily, what I can do is go into my Kyogre right here and clicks Origin Pulse. I don't think Precipice Blaze will knock me out if he's a mixed variant. I feel like I'll still be able to live. So what I'll be able to do is just Protect Amoonguss here and go for the Origin Pulse. I really don't feel like Precipice Blades will knock me out, as he's actually going to forfeit the match. I feel like he could have won. I'm not sure how much Precipice Blades would have done. I would assume he would be like quiet and then have a bit of attack investment, but I feel like I could have lived the Blades. Kyogre is faster than his Cresselia because he's probably about 8 Speed IVs, and then Kyogre would have Origin Pulse and won the game, and I cannot miss due to Gravity. He could have got a crit still, but it was unfortunate that miss for the Precipice Blades. I was not thinking he would double. That Trick Room play was brilliant, though. Setting it up, thinking I could sack one of my Pokemon and bring in the Amoonguss safely, but then he reverses the Trick Room. That was brilliant, and unfortunately it did not work out for him. But anyway, we will be moving on to our next battle and seeing how we do. Our next opponent is a 1734 rated player from Japan, bringing out Big Six. Okay, so Big Six, I have no idea what to do against this. I honestly have no idea. But I can actually bring my Gengar. Gengar actually does really well against Big Six. The only lead that could threaten it is Kangaskhan Talonflame or Talonflame Groudon. I think I'll lead Gengar. Mewtwo seems pretty viable. I wouldn't mind Mewtwo. I could also bring the... now the question is, do I even bring a Mega Evolution? I don't even need it. Do I need a Mega Evolution? I mean, Malva is pretty nice against Kangaskhan, Salamence, and Xerneas. Salamence is good against pretty much all his Mega Evolutions, but I don't carry Draco Meteor, don't forget. maybe Amoonguss is not the right call. I kind of want to bring Amoonguss though, because Amoonguss could help. But I think I'll bring Gengar, Mewtwo, have Kyogre, and Salamence in the back. Or is that not the right call? I'm actually starting to doubt myself as I kind of want Amoonguss. But then again, I feel like he'll bring Salamence and Talonflame, so I don't feel like Amoonguss might be the call there. So unfortunately, we're not going to reveal the cool Amoonguss set that I have. It didn't get to activate in the last battle, but unfortunately, that's not how it worked. As let's see what my opponent will lead. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Xerneas Smeargle, which it is. As I'm going to bring out my Gengar and Mewtwo, and right here I will actually go for the... I could go for Icy Wind, I could go for Trick Room right here. Like, he can fake out easily. He could honestly easily fake out. I kind of just want to taunt one of his Pokemon, like taunt his Smeargle. I wish I had Sub here, because Sub would be a very awesome play that I could do, but I think just taunting and side striking will be fine, because taunting Smeargle, if he wants to go for fake out, that's fine. He actually chooses to go for follow me. That is great as well, because he will probably go for the Geomancy here. As I do go for the side strike into his Smeargle, this should bring it down to Focus Sash easily, as he does bring down to Focus Sash, and here I can go for the taunt onto the Smeargle. So no Dark Voids, no follows me is coming out in the following turns, as he does go for the Geomancy right here. And I'm completely fine with him setting up Geomancy. I do not mind it. Especially since now, you guys did see my Gengar set. I do carry the Trick Room. So right here, what I can do is actually go for the Trick Room and protect with Mewtwo. Actually, does Dazzling Gleam even KO? I don't think it does. What I can do is just go for Trick Room, and actually let's try to get a last attempt on this Xerneas, because I feel like Smeargle would switch out right here. I don't know who he would want to switch out into. Maybe his Mega Evolution, if he brought it, Talonflame. Probably Talonflame or the Mega Evolution. I would really not see Groudon switching in right here. He could also stay in with Smeargle. I don't think, which is possible, but he does decide to withdraw his Smeargle and go into his Kangaskhan. So that is alright by me, as, let's see. The Xerneas, it's going to go for a Dazzling Gleam. Let's see if Mewtwo is bulky enough to live. We are bulky enough to live. That Gengar actually took it pretty well. I'm kind of surprised, as we do side strike the Xerneas, and look at how much that does, as we are able to set up the Trick Room, which is really nice, as I doubt my opponent was really expecting that. And we brought Smeargle to Sash. We did weaken his Xerneas. That is pretty successful in my book. Right here, I feel like just going for the Sludge Bomb into the Xerneas and firing off a Protect right here is fine. Kangaskhan's don't really carry Scrappy in this metagame here, so probably just fine just to protect. If he goes for the Sucker Punch into Gengar, that would be an excellent play. However, he might be scared since some Trick Room Gengars carry Destiny Bond, and I doubt he wants to knock his Xerneas knocked out right away. He could also make a very good play and double out his Kangaskhan into his Smeargle and protect with Xerneas. That would also be a fantastic play by him. Although I'm not sure if he wants to do it here. He can honestly just go for the fake out or something, as he is going to Mega Evolve his Kangaskhan. Let's see what he decides to do here, as what will it be? As Mewtwo does protect itself, let's see what the Kangaskhan went for. Is it a Sucker Punch? It's actually a Power Punch into Mewtwo, so that is nice, as we do get the Sludge Bomb off, and that should be able to finish off the Xerneas. Oh no, it's not actually. The Dazzling Gleam is going to get fired off, and it's going to be able to knock out my Gengar. Alright. That was nice. As here, I'm going to bring out my Kyogre, actually. Yep, Kyogre. Actually, I should have brought Salamence out. But what I can do is go for the Water Spout, and let's see, we've seen Smeargle, we've seen Kangaskhan, and we've seen the Xerneas. So most likely Groudon in the back, so I have to play to that accordingly. He could switch out Xerneas, which would be an okay play. I could definitely see that play. But what I'm going to do is actually Ice Beam his Kangaskhan, and actually going to withdraw my Mewtwo into Salamence, predicting his Groudon to switch in, and him going for a Power Punch here. As, let's see, Mewtwo is going to withdraw. His Kangaskhan did not withdraw. He might also protect Xerneas, which I could also see, as we do bring out our Salamence here and get that Intimidate off onto his Kangaskhan, which is really nice. As Xerneas does protect. Okay, so I could have went for the free Water Spout. That would have been awesome of me. But he actually goes for the Sucker Punch into the Mewtwo slot, so I guess that's perfect for me since I get free damage onto this Kangaskhan. And right here, I can go for a Hyper Voice Ice Beam combination that will knock out his Kangaskhan right here. And probably do a lot to whatever he has in the back. So that is awesome. It's also great that Trick Room Gengar is working out. Even though we have a lot of max speed stuff, the only thing that's not max speed is the Kyogre out on the field. And right now I can just fire off a Hyper Voice and an Ice Beam. Luckily he didn't Power Punch, so now I don't have to worry about a return or double edge hurting as much as if he did set up a Power Punch. So that is really nice. This game has been going according to plan right away. Even better according to plan. He might have to go for a double protect right here. I feel like that's his only win condition. As he withdraws his Kangaskhan, most likely out into Groudon. Oh, it's actually, he is going to sack the Smeargle, so let's see if he goes for the double protect or not. I wouldn't be surprised if he did. As we are going to Mega Evolve with Salamence. If he gets a double protect, it might actually, depending on the Trick Room turns, it might actually hurt me, but we'll see. As Xerneas is going to get the double protect, so he did get it. He did get it. He did get it. As we do go for the Ice Beam into the Smeargle, that will knock it out. Now, I feel like we have one more turn of Trick Room. I feel like we have one more turn of Trick Room. As we are going to fire our Hyper Voice, and we do have one more turn of Trick Room. Awesome. So Kangaskhan most likely going to come out here. I would assume, like, why would you bring out Groudon in this situation? Groudon does nothing for your position. The only thing you get is you get rid of Sun, great, but an Ice Beam is still going to knock out the Xerneas, and so is a Hyper Voice, and the Hyper Voice is going to hurt the Groudon a lot. He's going to bring back his Kangaskhan right here, and what I can do is just fire off a Water Spout and a Hyper Voice combination. The reason I can go for this play is because no matter, if he goes for Fake Out, I still knock out the Xerneas, which is my primary goal, and even if he wants to switch out to Groudon, if he switches out his Kangaskhan to Groudon, he cannot Fake Out, so Hyper Voice will knock out the Xerneas, and if he switches Xerneas out, I don't really lose much because Salamence will still be fine in the positioning it has been given, and especially since the Xerneas will not have a speed boost because it's switched out and stats are reset, I feel like I'm in a fine position here just to Hyper Voice Water Spout. As Xerneas is going to go for a triple protect but fails, and he is going to go for the Fake Out, probably onto the Kyogre, as he does Fake Out the Kyogre, which is fine. And that is going to do a decent amount, I guess, as the Hyper Voice is going to come out and knock out the Xerneas. So let's see who his last Pokemon is. It probably won't be Salamence. It's either Talonflame, Groudon, or... yeah, Talonflame or Groudon. That's pretty much it. As it is going to be the Groudon, so here I want to get that Hydro Pump KO. I really want to get that Hydro Pump KO. I'm going to get rid of the Kangaskhan first. As Groudon is going to go through Primal Version, get the Dustelet Land up. Who do I have in the back again? I do not remember who I brought in the back. It's still the 7 HP Mewtwo, right? Yep, perfect. We can switch out and go for the Flamethrower onto his Kangaskhan. Yep. As he's actually going to forfeit the match. So, unfortunately, we are not able to get the KO with the Hydro Pump Salamence. Really unfortunate that we have not been able to get a Hydro Pump off with our Salamence yet onto a Groudon, but hopefully we are able to. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It's a bit of an interesting team with its move composition, especially since it might not work out, but apparently it does work out, so keeping it. We're going to be using this team on stream tomorrow. If you guys haven't already, follow me on my Twitch, twitch.tv/JamesBaek1, and we will be using this team tomorrow on stream, so I hope you guys can make it out. We're gonna have some fun times on Twitch, and I will definitely be streaming more often, so definitely go check it out, especially since school is almost over. Well, the midterms and stuff that I have had to deal with. I've been having a busy schedule that's finally clearing up now. It's just this week has been a bit hectic, so is the last one. Yeah, pretty much that's what it is. But anyway, see you guys next time.